Hello, and welcome to another episode of TacoBytes, your daily bite of Degen, episode number 497. 3 to go till we get to that 500. That means we have 3 days till the 1st. Oh man, it is the 29th. We have a lot of fun stuff. I'm feeling a little hooligan-y-ish. So much so I'm making up words. That is why I'm wearing a beanie right now. This is the only beanie I had. I have bucket hats. I have a lot of bucket hats. But this is the only beanie I have. And it is a good, strong beanie. Actually, I think somewhere I might have a base beanie. I'll have to find that. A gift from Mr. Jesse Pollock himself. I like it. So, man, there's been a lot of stuff on the news today. Well, not really. Maybe because it's Christmas time. But a lot of, what should we say, interesting developments with the SBF trial. We were building out our own little story to publish out because we spent 5 weeks every single day in the courtroom. There was actually only 2 days where we were not able to be in the courtroom, and that was because our first day, our watch got through security for some reason, and we really liked what Caroline Ellison was saying, that we recorded it. Wasn't broadcasting it live or anything like that, but just because I was just starting my new notes session and stuff, and excuses, I wanted this recorded. And Caroline Ellison's testimony. So about 4 hours till the first lunch break, and one of the guards had noticed me doing it, and asked me to get rid of it and to put my watch away, and I did. He caught me red-handed or blue-handed. I don't know. No, he asked and I answered. So he was very astute in observing that, and then they said after lunch break, not today, but I went to go to the overflow room, and then there was a day when I showed up at 6 a.m. ish or so, and I ended up having to go to the overflow room, because everyone was showing up, so most of the time with all of the other reporters that I was there with, getting there between midnight and like 3 a.m. every day to be in that courtroom. We were just getting ready. We were just starting to talk again about plans for doing the same thing in March and what that would look like in the snow. And pretty crazy. So I just sort of find it very interesting. But if you do not know yet what I am talking about the Department of Justice, Southern District of New York's Department of Justice District Attorney deciding to not move forward with the second trial for SBF on political donations and SEC violations and CFTC violations. They didn't mention the SEC violations and the CFTC violations. They just simply said political campaign contributions. They said that they felt that they gave enough information in their trial, that they just want the court to consider these things when sentencing him. And so it's rather interesting on a Friday night evening, that they released this. It wasn't just like a last second decision. This stuff is planned, and what a lot of people feel is that it was done to sort of hide the truth behind that, or follow the sort of the money lines, I guess you could say. Now, people are wondering, what SBF documents do I have? I don't have anything you couldn't get. I don't think. But what I do have is I do have it all. I got it directly from the courts. You know, reporting on this did allow me to get direct access to all of the transcripts and all of the evidence presented, as well as evidence not presented. And so, yeah, that is sort of what we are going over through today. We're going to make a very long tweet post if I can find the twits, you know. There we go. I'll pull that out, put this over here. Yeah. And so why are we doing this? Well, one of the things that I found is that you are a lot better at investigating things than any one person is, especially me. Oh, that's a cute penguin. Do not be distracted by the penguin. This is not the penguin you are looking for. And so I have to roll that because Burko is amazing. So okay. So what we're going to show is we're going to show what we have as documents from the U.S. Bankman-Fried trial up to December 8th. We're going to get the new documents and the new filings and stuff like that. But what we're going to try to do is just sort of give everything that we can. But we're going to go through it with you guys live as well. And so as you can see, date modified. Yep. So that is because we actually just extracted that from our zip file. So yeah, that's not what we were meant to do. So that is why it was modified. I was like, yeah, why is it modified at 11:37 p.m.? All right, so we're going to actually just start at the very beginning and give you guys all of the documents that we have for each piece, and we're going to try to go through a lot of it. Let's see here. Can we open it all at once? No, we can't. All right, so we'll go in like a 10 block increment. And we're going to keep track of that so we know what we've talked about and what we haven't. Because I want you guys to know where we're at with everything and follow along later on. Yeah. And what we're going to do is we're also going to go take those 12 documents. Oh, I guess I can only do one at a time. No, I cannot do any. What can I do here? I think I can make a Google Drive and just share the Google Drive. Throw it all in the Google Drive. So let's do that. All right. So let's see here. New folder, SBF trial documents. All right. And then we're going to make 12/8/29. That is not the date. That is the date. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Then we are going to have to reopen. We're going to go through this. So let's bring this over. And we need this file again. All right. So what we're going to do here is Cool. So we're going to find that. We're going to go open that in Google and Drive. All right. Cool. So yeah. And what we're doing is we are just making our folder out for you to have access to later on. And let's see here. Restricted. They can just view. All right. And we are going to copy that link. And we are put that there. So, all right. What we now have is that folder right there. This one right there. This. And where did... There you go. And there's that. Now, because we're having some fun. And I hope you're following along with us as we sort of understand what we're doing. We're going through each folder and file, and we are going to upload them. Basically, let's just do that now. Let's make that really simple. Let's let you decide what you want to read. There. So, all right. I think that works. So, as we let this upload, that'll be over there. And there we go. So, no, that's not important anymore. What we have here is next our documents that we're going to be going over. So you guys sort of understand what's in this folder and why it matters. All right. So as you can see here, what we're going through, basically wire instructions for, so this is GX 425. This is where they're sort of breaking down what it was like for an individual onboarding, or this is exhibit 568. This is an individual, what they're seeing when they're onboarding into FTX, and that they were where they were sending money to North Dimension, about funding their accounts, how they would withdraw via True TUSD, USD Coin, Paxos, that you could then withdraw via wire transfers as well. This was where they were sort of showcasing what it was like for a new user, and that they had readily access to leverage tokens and everything right away. Same thing on depositing, how they put it forward as deposit here. And so that this was the main piece that they were telling people what to do, as well as their deposit trades, and what it was like for a user depositing into it. Same thing here. They were showing their future pieces front and center. And then this is a tweet from November 6, 2022, right before SBF FTX collapsed. Sam saying a huge thank you to everyone who supported us. We're excited to keep climbing together, especially to those who stay level-headed during crazy times. We deeply appreciate it. You know, and this was FTX keeps audited financials, and though it slows us down sometimes on product, we're highly regulated. SBF, you know, in quoting Caroline's tweet, a few notes on the balance sheet info that has been circulating recently. That specific balance sheet is for a subset of our corporate entities. We have 10 billion of assets that aren't reflected there. You know, SBF talking about they've already processed billions of dollars of deposits, withdrawals today. We'll keep going. Taking up anti-spam checks to process more. Sorry if you got those. We're hitting node rate capacity. We'll keep going. Also, tons of USD stablecoin conversions going on. And in the end, you should do what you want and trade where you want. We're grateful to those who stay, and when this blows over, we'll welcome everyone else back. As always, a huge thank you to our supporters and to everyone else as well. As long as they keep building and keep moving the industry forward, we'll keep building too. So Sam's trying to make himself sound like he's a good guy. More on history deposits and withdrawals of them requesting on 11/8, 11/11, talking about how withdrawals were ongoing almost over an hour later and for several days. Market prices and everything like that, as we can see, Bitcoin was back at it was at 35,882. You know, Solana was at $81. This was when the judge was sort of explaining what a click wrap agreement is. Every time you click that little box, whether you read the terms of services or not, you are agreeing to them. So trying to use, well, I didn't see them is actually not an excuse or an argument. It is the fact that you take the physical effort to click a box. Because if we're not going off of your honesty, then whose honesty are we going off of? So it's one of those things to where that is a binding agreement before being able to create an account. Next up, what we have, we stopped off 865, 863. Yep. All the way to, let's get another 10. 1530. All right. Oh. That's not cool. All right. Let's see. 863. All right. More showing about on the deposit and withdrawal side of the government exhibits. More in that. More on their stablecoin pieces. Click wrap. The more things open that we already had open. I think they did. I don't think anything new. FTX is fine. Assets are fine. Details. Oh, it's because we started at 863. I apologize. So yeah. Scan OCR tool. So this was what this is. Was FTX is enough to cover all client holdings. We don't invest client assets, even in treasuries. We've been processing all withdrawals and will continue to be. Some details on withdrawal speed. Banknotes can be slow. It's heavily regulated even when it slows down. If we could work together for the ecosystem. That was when, you know, that was sort of happening. Let's see here. GTX 900. Let's see what this video is.
Want to do one more?
Hang on. There's a
FTX
possibility of a
commercial.
trade.
Tom Brady wants a trade. Could he be coming home?
Well, like say, oh my God, Brady.
Yeah, trade. We're telling everyone. I heard she wants to be in LA.
Call two, go. I'm hearing Denver.
I give you the new City Hall. Take that, Tampa.
Trade? Are you sure?
Not a trade. I'm trading crypto. FTX is the safest and easiest way to buy and sell crypto. It's the best way to get in the game.
He's trading crypto.
Oh. Hey, y'all. It's not coming. Not coming.
All right. Yeah, that was interesting. Not really. Then what they talked about was a lot of the ad campaigns that FTX did. You know, Giselle and Tom Brady sort of got thrown under the bus a lot. They were front and center as the celebrities of a lot of it. You know, this was her positive change because FTX Ventures and FTX Charity did a lot of stuff with Giselle as well.
I call it the wheel.
I don't think so.
Larry
This
David's
is a
also
miss.
the hard.
Brother David, behold the fork. I got dead forks right here, baby.
A toilet? We're not animals. We go outside like humans.
Hancock. No king. The people shall have the right to vote. Even the stupid ones? Yes.
Listen, can I be honest with you? It stinks.
Nobody's going to the moon ever.
Why not?
It's far. It's too far. It's far.
止めないわ。とても無理できです。
バカか。出ていけ。簡単に書いてもいいのぞ。簡単に。
Like I was saying, it's FTX. It's a safe and easy way to get into crypto.
I don't think so. And I'm never wrong about this stuff. Never.
Maybe this is a time that Larry didn't miss, you know? So that's sort of a fun piece there. I remember that commercial. I think it launched during the Super Bowl. Let's see what we got here. We open up these documents. This is where they're sort of showcasing FTX offices as well as the Bermuda compound, Orchid 6. This is where the nine people were living. SBF, Caroline, Nasheed Rasan. Oh my gosh. Nishad Singh, his girlfriend, Cam Wet, and a few other people as well. This was the pictures the government was showing of that building there and this marina location, and what they were sort of going through as they were living there. Also showcasing as Sam was trying to say he was the front of the company, you know, but then he didn't know a lot of stuff about it. Showcased where Sam sort of countered that, you know, even saying like he doesn't remember meeting Bill Clinton. And, you know, then the government would show pictures of him sitting right next to Bill Clinton. When they were talking about the opulence of Orchid 6, you know, they showed a lot of the pictures that Sam had taken and sent to others as well about Orchid 6 and what it was like for everyone living there. So these are in there as well. And let's see here, next batch. And remember, all of these documents are going to be in this folder that you're going to be able to, that you'll have access to. One of the things that I want a little bit is there's documents in there that we'll get to I want to just sort of go through all of this for the simple fact that you guys can sort of see what this is like. Something I might miss, but as the government went through a lot of this, and some of it they presented, some of it didn't, but they submitted all of it. And it's interesting because with the government choosing to, they might be withdrawing some of the evidence that they presented. And, you know, call me tinfoil hattie. I am wearing a beanie. So, but this is just sort of my thoughts on, you know, let's go through all of it. And so you guys can see it because you guys might not have gotten to, but this is what all of the documents from the SBF trial and government exhibits were. And so you can sort of see how they were living at Orchid 6 and what the government sort of showcased as, you know, their lifestyle piece, but then also knowing that they were using consumer funds. And, you know, I think someone pointed it out really well that it just seems like now it is everyone's way to sort of bleed the consumer dry. So that is the last thing I'm really wishing people didn't forget about was the consumer. And, you know, the fact that they're looking at repaying people at the price of crypto that they had when FTX collapsed, rather than giving them their token. And see, this is a what's the word I'm thinking of? It's a two-edged sword. One, at the time of FTX's collapse, they're sort of rolling back a little bit. So before, excuse me. Oh, excuse me very much. They're giving people the money. So Bitcoin was at 35,000 at that time. They're not giving people one Bitcoin if they had a Bitcoin. They are giving them 35,000. That will not buy them one Bitcoin today because Bitcoin is up to like 42. I think Bitcoin was rolling back like I sort of suggested it might. So let me go check, as I haven't really looked at prices today. Bitcoin's at, it just dropped from 42 to 41. Now it's back up into 42. I actually said that it was going to go back to 41. So I might look at where market sentiment was yesterday with APAC, with Asia, if they were on a buying trend. And based off today's U.S. sell-off, they might be following suit as soon as Asia wakes up. They might continue with a sell-off, or they might want to be trying to buy U.S. losses. So I'm going to look at that before making any positions to start trading. But this is an ample time to make money or get wrecked. I hate telling it to you like that, but you know, that is sort of how it is. Buying and holding never hurts. Leverage trading is what can get you into a lot of trouble. So please be careful, mind your margin. And yeah. As we continue, we're going through some of the other pictures that they were showcasing of Orchid 6. And this actually that's their main pool. So as you can tell, they were on the main floor. This is where Nishad said that he talked with SBF and where Nishad learned that consumer funds were being used. And then not like the next day, but 13 days later, Nishad used $3.1 million of consumer funds. Now that he knew, he said he knew without a doubt that consumer funds were being used. He knew he used $3.1 million of consumer funds to buy a house in Washington for him and his friends. He then said he did a charitable act and that the house, that he gave the house up, meaning, you know, that was the nice way of saying possessed, you know, and handed over to authorities. You know, so he didn't do anything nice. But sort of showcasing what this looked like at night, during the day, lighting aspects. As they continued, the government was sort of showing what the opulence was of the place. It's a beautiful place. Do not get me wrong. You know, I would love to have lived there. I was not cool enough.
Money is changing.
But
the way we're thinking about it is changing. And the world is changing with it. There's a new kind of financial system designed for the digital age. It's called cryptocurrency. It can be a bit confusing, so let's explore what it really is. It's digital money, which means that you don't need traditional financial companies to use it. It moves fluidly in a streamlined system with checks and balances called the blockchain. We'll get to that in a minute. There are different kinds. You may have heard of Bitcoin or maybe Solana. These digital assets can be used to buy, trade, sell, pay, and invest. And they're transferred between users without the need for a central authority. Transactions are instant and reconciled immediately, without many of the delays of traditional systems. In rural communities, small business owners can easily use digital assets to help run their businesses. Entrepreneurs can receive payments instantly. Instead of checks, restaurant workers can be paid with digital assets that are available right away. Artists can create wealth by connecting directly with their audiences. And people in developing countries with greater barriers to banking can access new financial opportunities. It's a more inclusive pathway to wealth, and a lot of people are already using it. So, how does it work? Through an innovative database called a blockchain. Blockchain is a breakthrough that is transforming not only finance, but intellectual.
All right, there's 3 more minutes of that. That's a good commercial. I gotta, that was one of their intro educational videos, and so I gotta give it to them that they did do a good job on that. I might actually go and edit that and put that out as like a 101 video. Thank you, FTX. I don't think I will have to worry about any copyright claims. Who knows? Maybe I will, but maybe I'll put some JPEGs in it. But it was super funny that the 2 tokens that they mentioned is Bitcoin and Solana. Go Solana. But at the same time, another picture of SBF talking at on the beach. As he was saying that he didn't give a lot of talks. So that is file 10.4 that is in that folder. You'll have full access to that as well. This is when we get into some of the good stuff, the Gucci stuff. Let's see here. Let's see how much of this we can open at once. No. As we go through the rest of these. Yep. All right, cool. And once again, you're going to have access to all of these documents. This is going to be just a straight Google Drive folder that you will have full access to. This is where talking with, I remember this picture being shown. This is more Orchid 6. This is talking about FTX's derivatives exchange. Caroline Ellison. Team pictures. Gary and Sam in their younger years. This is an email from SBF to Paragium, and I'm saying that 100% wrong. I know I am. So this was, I remember this email, and I'm going to start backwards on it just so you guys can follow along. This is Matt to SBF. Hey, Sam, just wanted to give you a heads up that I spoke to Robert Sarver about you and FTX Alameda. He was curious to do some referencing, said all good things. So best of luck on whatever collaboration you guys are cooking up. This is where they were looking at an IPO offering. And then this is from Sam. Hope you're well. One thought question for you. We really like you in the FTX business, but feel 20 billion is mismatched with the scale of the current business. We gather that many other high quality investors may feel similarly. Would you entertain an offer around 10 billion if we can aggregate a super high quality syndicate? E.g., perhaps it's GM, Tiger, Coacher, Ribbit, MFN, etc. This would still be low, 4% dilution, while getting a bunch of premium names on the cap table ahead of any plans to go public, make inroads into the U.S. If you're open to entertaining, we could work to try to put something together. Sam wrote, hopefully that will come to fruition. Sam responded back, I have a bunch of thoughts on this. Here's something I wrote up recently. want to read it and then decide whether it makes sense for us to have a call on it. This is then going to a Google Doc. Okay, Sam, is it okay for us to share this and discuss with MFN as well? Either way, let's schedule a call among the three of us, you, me, and Arjun this week. Sam responded back, sure. Hey guys, was wondering if you could give me more context on conversations you've been having with other VCs. I suspect that a somewhat garbled version of those is leaking out and being reframed as coming from us. And then Matt responded back, hey Sam, we've just been chatting with a few folks we know and often collaborate with, Tiger, MFN, Ribbit, Coacher, to compare notes on the opportunity. This discussion consensus seems to be everyone loves you, SBF plus the core FTX platform. 20 billion is a very high price, even for Tiger and Coacher, who are setting price records in the private markets. What is the message that you think is leaking? And this is what's funny is this is a conversation where they're looking at pricing out FTX, and Sam feels that 20 billion valuation of FTX, and everyone else is sort of thinking 10 to 12, possibly 15. Sam wrote back, word on the street is we're asking for 12 billion val, 90% sure it's coming from those conversations. Not super appreciative of that, though no reason to think it's you guys in particular. Could be coming from any one of them. Frankly, a pretty bad look given the Coinbase holdings many of that group have. Makes us wonder what the motivation behind it is. I'm not sure what you guys thought are on the raise, but maybe to be more explicit about this. It's totally fine if you want a 12 billion valuation, but we don't. And we'd rather just not raise, which is totally fine with us. Also, lots of others are happy with 20 billion, and FTT implies a much higher value, FTT being their token. So would be kind of weird for us to raise a 10 to 12 from a group of people who have not historically been very aligned with us. Super happy to keep talking about the raise if you want, and happy to talk about valuation if you have a convincing case for it. I'm not really sure how we, as a community, got to where we are. We should be looking to work together in the crypto space, not fight each other, and things seem surprisingly sectarian. Though at some point vested in interest and projects might just cause that, which could be a prisoner's dilemma. I'm happy to hop on a call to discuss. We have one scheduled for tomorrow, but wanted to jump on this fairly quickly because it's very important to us that there be honesty in this process, and we suspect that somewhere near here, misleading information is being passed behind our backs. And again, don't mean this specifically targeting you guys. Could just be easily any of the others. Back from Matt. Hi, Sam. Happy to talk through it. We have never thought about 12 as a number, much less talked about that number with anyone. It is also not in our interest to do anything to harm you or FTX. We are long crypto more than we are long any particular company, and we all benefit from good actors like you building successfully. I would be surprised if this chatter is coming from us or anyone we associate with. This is not how high-quality venture growth investors behave. SBF responded, got it. Hearing a lot of inconsistent things here between you, the others, and the third-hand sources about it. Happy to chat about it. Matt came back with, hi, Sam. Apologies for what looks like a messy game of phone tag here. Reaffirming that we haven't discussed or considered 12 billion, so generally confused where that's coming from. Simply put, our interest is in a potential partnership with FTX, or anyone really. Comes from optimism about the long-term potential of the business and the positive impact it can have. In the interest of transparency, we are, of course, impressed by the scale you've accomplished so quickly, but we do have some concerns briefly outlined below. Governance. As we understand, FTX is effectively owned plus controlled by Sam, lacking more traditional corporate governance model, rights, etc. One example of where this can negatively manifest with crypto companies is through unintended value leakage, e.g. via FTT, Alameda, or some other mechanism. Like you, we place a heavy emphasis on alignment. As a shareholder, we want confidence that the value FTX creates or accrues directly to equity holders. We're not suggesting that this isn't the case today, just that candidly, we aren't sure how to think about it yet. Price. Thanks for your earlier feedback. Let's discuss live tomorrow. Our lens may be colored by our sense of the highest order goal, paving the best path to FTX building an enduring franchise and eventually listing as a public company. I don't think we're misaligned on this goal, so perhaps a disagreement is on how to maximize success to that end. In any case, appreciate your patience. Look forward to discussing in higher resolution tomorrow. Sam wrote back, sounds good. And then on the 24th, respond back, hey guys, updated numbers attached. And there's a Google Drive attached. Thanks, and definitely apologize for being a bit intentionally difficult to interface with on the call. By the way, a new file attached one more day and fixes a column labeling issue. Same overall, but 2 revenue source labels got swapped. Indicative and super confidential. This is not finalized yet, but it is roughly what that we anticipate sending out very soon. Request access. Note that some of the information there is a few days old. So more. This is then FTX's March 2021 pitch deck and what they're looking at 2020 versus 2019. This is what they're using for their valuation pieces, their compliance framework. Who the team is: Gary Wang, Nishad Singh, Dan Friedberg, SBF, Ramik Aura as well. This shows the breakdown of Alameda Research. DocuSign, Sam owning 90%, and Gary owning 10%. And then Alameda Research LLC owning 100% of Alameda Research Ltd. Picture of Gary. Office setups. I will be honest, I am really jealous of these computer setups. I really would love a 6-monitor setup just like this. Yeah, I really would. This is a Signal chat message, but this is talking about the price of Orchid 6 between the 11 people that are there in that chat. And what it basically says is that someone was like, I don't feel possible paying $15,000 a month in rent. And this is per person, mind you, was what that they were thinking they were going to be doing. And this is basically where then Sam says, I totally assumed that basically Alameda would just be paying for it. So no person would be paying for it, just Alameda Research, i.e. with consumer funds. So that's that piece there. So that's where that 30 million went. Let's see here. Next up, we have some sound bites. As we go through these are FTX commercials. We're going to not go through the commercials and IB bits, but these are all in the Google Drive as well. Yeah, nothing cool. Nothing interesting, but
so now so the trade goes away, but now you've got a bunch of money and you've got a bunch of smart people, and you've got Alameda Research, who I heard this funny story. Someone told me that the name Alameda Research is because you needed a bank license, and research is like the most safe thing that you can get.
Yeah, exactly. Right, like we knew banks were going to shut us down because before Silvergate didn't exist, Signature, there were not yet U.S. banks that were happy with crypto. Instead, there are just a lot that did not want to have to fucking think about it.
Yeah.
And we just knew that was going to be a thing. And that if we named our company like Shitcoin Day Traders Inc., like they'd probably just reject us for the bank account. Or if the teller would accept this, they don't care. But I mean, compliance just have a field day with that. But I mean, no one doesn't like research.
Totally. Everyone loves research.
Yeah, that was a bit there why they named Alameda Research Alameda Research. Because Sam, during the trial, said he didn't know why they named it Alameda Research. This piece is one of their spreadsheets of their quarterly reviews. This is the document that he sent to investors of their Blockfolio daily revenue, their daily signups, and what their numbers looked like, what their fee rates looked like, and how much they were earning in that, as well as their daily active user uptakes. And showcasing what that looked like. What they then showed up their buy burn of FTT token, what their net profit was per quarter, per month, and what their estimated net profit would be as well. So they went into some interesting document pieces. You'll find this in that folder as well. 10.6 folder. We have here. And just to the comments in YouTube, the reason why we're going through this is because of the Department of Justice recent, meaning like not even 12 hours ago, stating that they are not going to be proceeding with their second trial against Sam Bankman-Fried on political charges. And they're going to, political campaign donations. What's really cool is we have some of those documents. So we want to make sure you can have them so you can, see where they went, and you can do your own research and find out, because you, internet, are so much better at this than any one person. And so I really would love to know what you find out of these documents. But we're going through these for the simple fact that not everyone has gotten to see these. Not everyone got to go to the trial. And I was able to do that. And so by getting my hands on these, I really wanted to make sure that other people could get their hands on these as well. This is one of their hashtag organization group chats who was in that. This is where they then went through the code of FTX. As you can see right here, add allowed negative to account right there. That was the code that Nishad Singh wrote that allowed Alameda to go negative and then pull from consumer funds in any of its positions. And so this is what we saw directly hardlined into FTX commits. This here is a letter, just over a year ago, December 18th, 2022. Dear Mr. Graff and Mr. Miller, on the understanding specified below, the Office of the United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York will accept a guilty plea from Gary Wang to the above referenced superseding information. Count 1, the information charged the defendant with engaging in a conspiracy to commit wire fraud on the customers of FTX. Count 2 of the information charged the defendant with wire fraud on customers of FTX and aiding and abetting the same. Count 3, information charges the defendant with conspiracy to commit commodities fraud. Count 4 of the information charges the defendant with conspiracy to commit securities fraud, and total of 50 years imprisonment for counts 1, 2, 3, and 4. The defendant agrees to waive any defense related to venue with respect to 1 through 4 of the information. The defendant shall make restitution the amount to be specified to the court in accordance. This amount shall be paid according to a plan established by the court. This is Gary Wang's basically his basically citing his guilty plea for testimony against SBF, and that he was set on bail on $250,000 bail, and Danielle soon signed off on it, and this was pushed off on that. This is more account balance pieces within FTX code. This is a document from Sam about Alameda Research being shut down. I think it's time for Alameda Research to shut down. The reasons: PR hit from Alameda and FTX, PR costs, blah, blah, blah. Keeping entities for holdings, etc. Transition almost everyone off of Alameda. Either we let them go, they join Modulo, or they join FTX. FTX line of credit. This is what any borrower has. Allow negative or encourage trades, transfer use of rights. This is added insurance fund that doesn't allow any clawbacks. So allow clawbacks, wouldn't allow clawbacks from the Alameda account for being negative. Caroline, looks like my account on wireless table 1 passed, got suspended. Any chance I could get that re-enabled? And then Tim, can someone please confirm that all trading on all exchanges is turned off? I just saw a message on Slack suggesting that people were still trading CHZ. And this was about liquidating accounts as well, committed by Gary Wang. And so we're going to speed through a little bit of these because we want to mostly just get to the campaign contribution documents so that those can sort of come to the light front and center so people can have. So we're going to run through these real quick. They are on video, but you're going to have access to all of these as they will be in the Google Drive. FTX support updates, code updates. Now makes the fund worth over $100 million. SBF out. How are you going to resolve the conflict of interest running your own derivatives exchange and actively trading against the market at the same time? People complain that crypto Hades. Alameda is a liquidity provider on FTX, but their account is just like everyone else's. Trying to say Alameda didn't have any special privileges is basically what that said. Sort of negated with the account negative, allow negative, and the no clawback. What was, let's see here. What do we have? All right. Stablecoin deposit pieces, Sam Trading, calendar bits. So this is really hilarious. The government had to submit a calendar that they could then use. This is a weird thing with evidence. They had to submit and get approved a calendar so that they could use a calendar to actively go back and show different dates. It was a very weird piece, and that the fact that you have to do that is sort of hilarious. This goes back showing people's usernames and their account statuses. We have here
And if you're like a big exchange with a lot of capital, like empirically, how good is the risk management? Like, do you guys regularly have like blowouts that you don't that you're not made whole?
It's a good question. So we've put a bunch of thought into the risk engine. We don't have big issues. So like we've never had a day, I think, where there's more money that we lost in blowouts to revenue that we made just from trading fees. So, and on most days it's effectively $0 cost. So this is not like a big deal for us. I mean, it's a big deal to think about, but like economically, it hasn't been a big cost to us.
Look, yes, I did go to the trial. I went to the trial every single day for 5 weeks. So I was in Barcelona for the first week during jury selection. So I missed jury selection, and I missed whose testimony did I miss? I missed an investor, well, not an investor, but a consumer who lost funds on FTX and came in right before BlockFi and Gary Wang testimony. So that first Monday, well, not Monday, but Tuesday, because Monday was a holiday. I actually went to court that Monday, not knowing it was, not remembering it was a holiday, because I just gotten back from Barcelona, and so I was jet lagged, and I just knew that everyone was showing up early, so I got there at 5 o'clock in the morning. No one was there. I thought I was first. I was like, woohoo, first there. But then one of the guards that I became friends with let me know that, you know, there was, you know, so I was there for a total of maybe like 15 minutes. Then I smoked my morning cigar, and then I went on my way back home. But set the stage for being early there the next day, now that I knew the route to get there. So that is folder 10.6. That is in there for people to go through. Let's see here. We're going to go through all of these documents, and then we'll go through the Word documents. Hey, thank you for saying it was commitment. It was one of those things to where being in the courtroom for this felt really important to me, for the simple fact that, you know, this was sort of the trial of the century in a way, as to the aspect that, you know, FTX, though I didn't like FTX because I didn't like Alameda Research, so I didn't use FTX. I thought SBF and what he was doing was really putting crypto on the map, and you know, it was like the Trojan horse of Trojan horses. And so I felt that it was really important, and people had direct access. So I streamed every day during lunch what happened in court the first half of the morning, and then at the end of court each day, I then streamed live what happened. Funny side note, on one of the days that I was streaming after the end of court, I got a cameo from Robert De Niro walking through the back of my scene because Robert De Niro was in court. And then the next morning, I actually met Robert De Niro in the breakfast cafeteria as he was walking to his attorney's table, and said got to say hello and get a hi back. So yeah, This picture the government introduced of CZ and SBF because, you know, he was saying that he didn't really have a whole lot of contact with CZ. VC, the stipulations regarding records authenticity. Exhibits set forth below consist of true correct copies. This is the attachment of the GX. This is basically, so S2003 is a list of all submitted. So S2003 is a very important document for people to look for. It is all of the titles of all of the different exhibits. So you'll have a very easy way of finding them. So I'm actually going to put that aside as that is a good document to have over here. As I don't want to forget about that. So this is there's group chats. As they're in Signal, someone was actually taking pictures of their group chat. And this is sort of, we actually saw what this all was. These notes, I have a lot. Borrowing, so this is where they showcase borrowing from FTX hot wallet, $1 billion worth of SOL, $1 billion worth of ETH, $600 million worth of USDT, $600 million worth of BTC, $10 billion of USD, $750 million of Australian dollars, $250 million worth of BRL, Brazil's real. I forget yeah. Better email system, adding stuff to Wiki. Most crypto down 50%. Our venture investments down 100%. FTT, SOL, SRM down 75%. So this is a 10th percentile scenario. Worst case scenario, this is what they were looking at, what they were running predictions of what they might and how they might solve that. Please see attached request for attendance. This was so when SBF and Gary were in the Bahamas, the SBV, Securities Commission of the Bahamas. This what they were sort of showcasing was how like backwards some of the stuff was. This email was sent at 3:26 p.m., but they were already in the Bahamas office of the SCV from like 11 a.m. So they put documents behind what they were doing so that, you know, that they had time that they were to be there at 2 o'clock, and they'd been there from 11. So they were covering their bases. SVB was putting out their official documents. Their official documents were behind their actual meetings with people. This is Victor Zhu and Caroline Ellison. Sorry if I was being cagey about the FTT convo. FTT price is definitely something SBF's gotten upset at me for talking too publicly about before, so I was feeling stressed out about that, struggling how to respond. Obviously important to get right, though, and I think we definitely fucked up by not making it down more earlier. So, yeah. Let's go through that. And then GX36, this is the big spreadsheet of account pieces of where they were at for time periods and their breaks and how much they were down. And question pieces, negative of EV of raising equity. And then sheet 2, what they were looking at for possible losses. Word document. Trading has been better lately. General themes, lots of activity in altcoins. Specific step-in team selling us 100 million GMT tokens. Came from Terrence, chatting with them at conference. Got short 8 before the land drop. Sold mob into Binance listing. General decent trading around crashes, liquidations. Putting on sold deltas around downtime. Putting a lot of effort into managing market making closely. I've been managing a lot more actively, weekly meetings, Slack channels to discuss proposals before we send them out and track feedback requests from projects. Been digging into details with Gabby and Diana a lot. I think things are going better. Resolved drama with looks, skirt, and Nuck. Been improving a bunch of stuff in response to feedback. We've unfortunately didn't get Project Galaxy. Takeaways, bid higher strikes, work on Chinese language networking relationship buildings. Personnel, cautiously optimistic about Taché, getting her more involved in Alameda stuff, etc. Planning to fire Steven this week. Emma is coming to Bahamas this week. Want to be more connected to crypto projects and aware of crypto news. Feel like most of our good trading has been related to that. Setting up regular chats with the venture team. Feel like there's a lot of good half-baked ideas for trading projects and maybe need to follow through with execution a bit more. Should probably be better at managing now that I don't have insane number of reports. Worries, office location, Asia hours coverage has been tough. Should people go to Hong Kong, Singapore, Dubai, stay here? Note a bunch of offices planning to be in California for a month this summer. Nate, burnout doesn't seem to be improving. Both actual leverage and presenting on our balance sheet. So there are side notes. Sam asking, nice. How are they doing? Diana is super proactive and enthusiastic, smart, definitely still learning and misses a lot of stuff. Trying to get her to be more careful and run more stuff by me. Gabby, ton of potential. Smart, good at wide range of things. Gave her some feedback on it. Nice. Permanently temporary, I think. Also maybe Ma. That's David Ma. We're going to talk about David Ma more because he was very pivotal in the $150 million bribe being paid to Chinese government officials. One of the things that we're hoping to get to is the wallet address that David Ma provided as well. Paperbird, FTX equity on the balance sheet. And that is folder 1010. Let's see here. Nope, that's not what I want. I want this. Right. All right. So government, more notes from Sam, balance sheet pieces, Jump Crypto. These were people that they thought that they could get funding from around current proposal processes, and who they could, including Justin Sun, OKXE, Silver Lake, work priorities, hedging, setting more, fixing up our up shit, getting more loans, testing FTX US stocks, looking into Willie because Akum deposes. Willie is never happy. P&L, past couple months, trading, personal, private notes, Celsius loan return, as well, with a lot of redacted pieces for privilege. We did get to see those. Reach out to Brian Dustin, halt withdrawals, haircut assets. Right now, I'm guessing we have something like 300 million BTC. I could also retweet. I don't know, maybe that's more suitable. For now, I retweeted. Small group chat about the death and destruction of Alameda on 11/9. This is private signal chat. This is Caroline Ellison's plea agreement with wire fraud charges as she testified against SBF. Should try and return loans that are being called. Probably not. That would put FTX customers at a disadvantage to non-FTX customers, right? Yeah, true. I sort of feel like it because it is feasible, and unlike meeting all of FTX withdrawals, and feels like it cleans things up. So they feel like cleaning things up with loans is better, that taking customer funds is not cleaning the table. How bad is it to process loan recalls in the next few hours? Which lenders can certainly do all the small ones? Cool. Yeah, BlockFi yet. Talking about BlockFi. This is Caroline talking to Ben Z. I think it's going to tweet at CZ, and we will buy it all from them at $22. Any objections? Ben Z, I can imagine that hurting might be better if the market is willing to buy for 22 rather than affiliate, but not strongly opposed. SBF, I think the main point is just to counter the PR narrative here, and Binance probably won't take us up on it. I also think FWIW that the market is likely to buy more if we tweet it, but I don't know. I'm about to tweet it. FTT will go up. Guessing it makes sense to speed up freeing up capital, seeing significant withdrawals. All right. As I said, we have a lot of documents in this one. Well, guess I tried to open too many at once. This is Sam sort of saying backstopping customer assets should always be primary. Everything else is secondary. Obviously, their private chats are saying don't pay the customers. This is Caroline's tweet. CZ, if you're looking to minimize the market impact on your FTT sales, Alameda will happily buy it all from you today at $22. By the way, if things get a lot worse, I don't think I'm going to handle it well. This was such a bad prediction. This is the best mood I've been in like a year, to be honest. So this is Caroline tweeting with Sam that Caroline just told all of the FTX employees that they've been stealing consumer funds. She's like, this was such a bad prediction. This is the best mood I've been in like a year. Sam responded, wow, congrats, because shit's exciting. And then Caroline responded, I think I just had an increasing dread of this day that was weighing on me for a long time, and now it's actually happening. It just feels great to get it over with one way or another. New entity just with F. These are Caroline private notes. I cannot read her cursive at all. Not in the slightest. And I don't know what that doodle is. Is that like a doodle of a fox? Is that just like, I doodle like that too, but I'm trying to usually draw a shape. I don't know what she was trying to draw there. Like a mouth eating something? I don't know. But it's private, and you can sort of see she's like me. I doodle in my corners as well. So yeah. Tom Brady tweeting, hey, FTX official, let's make a trade. Let's get this guy a Bitcoin. So yeah. CZ thread, as part of Binance's exit from FTX equity last year, Binance received roughly $2.1 billion USD equivalent in cash, BUSD, and FTT. Due to recent revelations that have come to light, we've decided to liquidate any remaining FTT on our books. What's really hilarious is during the prosecution's financial expert, he stated that BUSD was Binance stable dollar. But, or not Binance stable dollar, Bitcoin stable dollar. So yeah, that's sort of hilarious. Balance sheet tweets from Caroline. Consolidated balance sheet 2022. This is the balance sheet that was passed around. That was released by CoinDesk. SBF playing with cards. The government tried to say that this was him saying that he was a gambler, that he plays cards. The defense, Michael Cohen, stating that this was, a picture of Sam with a deck of cards that he always had in his pockets as a fidgeting tool of nervousness and stuff like that. I can attest to that. I've used a deck of cards to work with my nervousness. Signal chat between SBF and Sam Trabucco. I think it would be relative on her vesting selling out. What did she do? She sent taunting messages to Cheryl saying Alameda fucked up trading today and wasn't paying attention to important things, and telling Cheryl she can't tell Alameda. Wow, we're pretty sure she was mostly wrong. I presume she's just parroting the 100 tweets that tagged me claiming we sold MIM too low. Nah, she had the opposite take. Said Alameda didn't sell any MIM and was stuck bag holding 150 million. That would have taken like 15 seconds to check for her. Yep. Did Handis father immediately turn us in or something? LOL. So what this is, so Handy, Handy was one of their Chinese employees. Handy's father was a police officer, and this was around when Alameda paid $150 million to Chinese authorities for getting their $1 billion off of OKX and Huobi. And so they paid $150 million to Chinese government officials, and then for some reason, all of a sudden, their funds were free on Huobi and OKX. OKX and Huobi saying that they didn't have any contact with any Chinese government authorities, and that was just the time when all of the documents seemed to align right. But they ended up not going through Handy's father because Handy was really upset about that, and so they did make that sell, and then they got flack from it right away. So that is a tweet that is important to me. So I'm going to save that. Oh, that's not what I want to do with it, but yeah. Dude. All right, we're going to put that over there. Quant shop with ties to FTX powers Bankman-Fried's empire. So Alameda Research. Michael Lewis is going to be in the Bahamas profiling us. Could have him and Mike Farber profile each other, profiling us. Yep, makes sense. I feel like my instincts are going more toward under the radar, but I might just be irrationally biased. This was from Going in Infinite from Michael Lewis, his book. And that taken on that. This is 11/6/2022 as people were exiting out. A lot of withdrawals on FTX are queuing up. Net changes 1.25 billion, 230 million in the last 3 hours, 120 million in the last hour. These don't sum, just giving a sense of pace. Message was deleted. Continuing so far about the 120 million an hour. Oof, we're getting really backlogged in count terms. Some of this is just FTX's processing isn't fast enough, even if it did have the funds for some wallets. What would be useful from FTX's side, Caroline? I don't think I have anything particular. How's the withdrawal rate looking? Down a bit, more like 70 million an hour. Is there more cash we could withdraw via SEN? Ryan is asking me if FTX can meet all withdrawals. What should I say? Nishad says, my guess is that it's time to reach out to CZ privately and ask for a truce. I don't see them de-escalating. Would they actually lead to them de-escalating? I kind of think it wouldn't, but I could be wrong. I'm not sure what our other options are. I agree it doesn't seem likely to. Maybe something like we can meet a ton, though it's already getting large. I don't know. Nishad says, I kind of think we need CZ's endorsement to stem the bleed, but I could be wrong. To be clear, do you think the tweet is net bad? I think number 2 makes it net bad, but I'm not up to date on the capital situation. Number 2 points fingers at all. I'm assuming that we're going to have to block withdrawals starting in a few hours at least till Monday when we can start processing some more. SBF, I think CZ's endorsement is fairly unlikely, and then SBF tweet. And so now hold on just a second as I combine these 2 documents that I need together. Oh, I'll get that back later. And then right here we have the last of our documents from this folder. Participants, number of messages, OTC banking, map balance log. Caroline talking about that there looks like we're not great lenders of ETH right now, but we can let you know if it's better tomorrow. They want to close. This was BlockFi wanting to close their loan to FTX. More conversations about loan closing. Same thing with BlockFi as well. This was where they said that they were setting messages to disappearing time at a week. So that messages, they weren't following document retention rules. This is a consolidated balance sheet for 2022-2020 Q3. Same document, but they had to make a second one because this one was hashed. So they had to make a second government exhibit because they didn't make the columns big enough, which is, I think, is sort of funny. Nope. And as we see here, more documents within their assets pieces that they were handing out. As well as their investments. And what's really hilarious is you'll see 449. These are millions and billions. So these all are numbers you see in quotation marks. And then if there's like 3,900, it's 3.9 billion for reference. Same thing. More document pieces as they were moving those around. They were trying to move collateral around. How much was owed in liability? Nexo, Layer 0, Genesis, Voyager. Who was lending and who was borrowing, Paperbird. These were all different companies that were owned by Sam and or Gary or Nishad. Here we can see my most hated individual at FTX, Nishad Singh, borrowing a total of $566 million and then texting Sam when everything was going down, asking if he could fix his debt and backdate a bunch of trades within FTX so that he could be plus 50 million. So steal 566 million as well as an additional 50 million, over 600 million from consumers. And he thinks that he is the victim here. Other pieces there as well, showcasing these number pieces. This document 39A. This was a working document from SBF on what he sort of felt was going on. You know, so we're going to add this to the tweet for some reason. I don't know why we want to add this to the tweet. Let's add this to the tweet. Yeah. The musings. We're going to there we go. And let's see. So that is 1011. 1012. More sound bites. These are all in this, but I'm actually not going to play sound bites. Like I said, I'm going to try to go through this quickly. As you guys can go through this on your own. But what you can see here, this is like all hands transcripts. So we got it is all hands meeting. This is transcript between Drapey and Caroline as well. You know, just wanted that your hedge fund seems to be invested in a scheme that is transparently going to falter again. USDD is not a algorithmic stablecoin. Is to burn TRX to get USDD. I see no contract to go the other way and no algorithm adjusting either mechanism except that minting depends on Oracle price of TRX. Sam says, I don't run Alameda anymore. You should ask them. Note that creating redeeming does not necessarily mean investing. More of the final all hands meeting. And this is where Caroline Ellison tells everyone that FTX and Alameda is using consumer funds and everything like that. And how we got this testimony from that meeting is that a guy's third day, Dan Best or Dan Smart, I think, I forget his name off the top of my head. It was his like second day on the job, third day on the job. You know, day one was meeting the team. Day two was learning that everything was going down. Day three was all hands meeting, learning. And so he decided to record And so that is actually what one of these recordings here is. That's what these recordings, GX433F, 433E, 433D, 433C, and 433B, and 433A are actually the sound bites of that audio recording of that meeting where Caroline talks about it.
Okay, let's get started, I guess, with a bunch of people. Yeah, I guess I'll just start by saying some stuff, and then you guys can feel free to ask questions. Yeah, so I guess you guys have probably seen a lot of what's happening on, I don't know, Slack and Twitter, but I could just like start by giving a general overview of the situation. I think the basic story here is that starting last year, Alameda was kind of borrowing a bunch of money via open term loans and use that to make various illiquid investments. So like a bunch of FTX and FTX US equity, a bunch of like other ventures, investments, etc. And then with crypto being down, the crash, the like credit crunch this year, most of Alameda's loans got called, and in order to like meet those loan recalls, we ended up like borrowing a bunch of funds on FTX, which led to FTX having a shortfall in user funds. And so with the once there's
a shortfall in user funds
about this, and users started withdrawing funds, they kind of eventually were realizing that they were unable to, not to be able to meet like the continued withdrawal pressure.
So yeah, that is what she said. I think here, private conversation.
Sam, I guess.
No. So yeah, that's, she sort of put it on Sam of who made that call.
Who else was like aware of this? I mean, I'm guessing you and Sam certainly were. Like, I'm guessing there's probably very few people.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if I know exactly who was aware. I mean, I sort of feel like to some extent you could piece it together if you like looked at like Pointer or like looked at like some spreadsheets for a bit or something. So it was like sort of possible for a lot of people to be aware of it, but I guess that most people weren't. So.
I mean, like more like explicitly aware, as in like told like this is what we're doing. Like, in terms of like meetings that were had, I'm sure like this wasn't just a YOLO thing, right? Like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I talked about it with like Sam, Rashad, and Harry, I think.
So that's where Caroline explicitly named Sam, Nishad, and Gary as knowing about this way before everyone else finding out. I actually quoted this in one of my videos and stuff. This wasn't like a YOLO thing, was it? And she was saying no, that it wasn't. You'll find that all in folder 1012. As we go through, this is GX 417 credit memo. Their counterparty open term loans, just so people know, is if I give you an open term loan, that means like, let's say I give you $100 at any time, I could call that $100 back plus interest, my interest, at any time. Fixed rate, fixed loan, term loans meant like, 3 months, 6 months, stuff like that. So right now, open term loans is what she was talking about, and that's what those were. This is a Freedom of Information Act, confidential treatment requested form. So yeah. These are pictures of Sam with other, when he was working with, this is donation processing. So we're going to, this is where they were setting up donations. And so we're going to set these aside specifically so that people can find them, and so we can find them as well. Prime Trust, and who they were giving money to. So we have, let's see here. Salams, can we get 20K from Nishad Singh to the Delaware Democratic Party today? Salams is on it. Nishad, this is queued up. So Salams had access to Nishad Singh's bank account to approve transactions. Nishad just had to go into his email and click approve. Also resent the last 5 verification emails, so 6 total and pending. All right, update this through the application of social, political, and legal pressures that we're getting 900,000 back, which is probably the best possible outcome. They'll hang on to it until 11/4, at which point the refund won't be reported until January. This gives plausibility to the type of error, extra 0 on the contribution, and minimizes PR issues for all involved parties. Sent you a DocuSign, read the above MOU between us and the Bento campaign. So this is a Beto, BETO campaign. Main pertinent call out is mutual non-disclosure of the matter. If they fail in their obligations, we're no longer bound by the non-disclosure. Working on it. Google Sheet sign in. Salams, could you queue up the small dollar contributions for Nishad? $117,000 and SBF $52,000 here. Keenan Lance bumping this. Apologize for this. We'll get these out this morning. Keenan, thanks. Would be cool with me being able to set up rights via PT, etc. As long as it's dual control. Email approval would still flag asks in this thread for Viz. Really appreciate the work as Ryan has been doing, but think it's helpful to load balance, have another backup for wires. SBF, I think so. SBF are all queued and sent. Nishad, you got about 30 small dollar ones rolling in if you can confirm in your email. So these 30 small dollar contributions, and what they were considering small dollar was less than 250,000. Bet you're impressed I did that under. Nishad's like, done. Bet you're impressed I did that in under 2 minutes. Nishad Singh, one more up. Keenan, the elector. Katie Hobbs will get $500,000 wire and a $4,500 wire. Salams, can you please wire $107,000 from SBF personal to New York State Democratic Committee? Already discussed and approved. Thanks. We're actually going to make a tweet on this. Let's see here. We're asked to update this to Nishad queued up in your email. So we're actually going to make a tweet on this right now, because as we find these things, we like to sort of let's move this over here so you guys can see what I'm writing. Oh, what is the Attorney General's Twitter? All right. So we got that. I'm sure we'll make more tweets while we're doing this. But we're going to make note of this one. This is GX475. Let's see. Nishad, continue. Not trying to be. Let's see here. Gabe Bankman-Fried is Sam's brother, who runs GAP, which is Guardians Against the Pandemic lobbying firm. And so he's having Keenan Lance, can we get 30,000 of Nishad Singh contributions out, as well as 510,000 for SBF? Last of Sam's DNC commitment and 500K to SMP. Also, could you confirm the 107 to New York State Dems from Nishad went out? I believe it did, but I don't see the box tick, so just want to confirm. Talk to Murray, folks. They gave us most of what we wanted, but still want to do a partial fill of $500,000 dark. So they're doing a dark donation. We're going to send the wire in 30 minutes, unless you object. Got it. Is it better than 250K lit? In general, we end up having to give more to the other side when we give publicly, so I think it costs you less in the long run to go dark. So we're going to add this. Let's add that to that tweet. And I guess I have to say this now because this is what we all have to say. I am never going to commit suicide. Just FYI. All right. We just added to that tweet. That is that 107 to the New York State Dems. We're shared with the Democratic Party of Oregon. I just discussed with Mark and Susan, and encouraged both of them to ask me if they had any questions about campaign finance rules in the future. Want to make sure that's legible and available to FTX advocacy team as well. To be clear, SBF, we moved 500,000 dark to help Murray since you pre-approved it and didn't object quickly. Just wanted to tie the loop in case there was a misunderstanding. 2 small contributions, 7,900 in total. When you have a minute, would be great to get out today. Oof, no chance on today. Sorry. You have a second to queue them up. I pinged Natalie to start separately out on the accounts. And boom. So that's GX475. This is Michael Sandowski and Nishad Singh. Nishad is saying, in general, I'm adverse to explicitly woke stuff, but if it's especially good or if it's hard to interact productively with Democrats without that, I understand. But that's mostly beside the point. The specifics of this case are what matter more. Anyway, what's up with the LGBT Victory Fund? This is just giving BB Super PAC money, but we should chat broadly on this. This specific case is a pass-through to run ads in favor of Becca Ballant. She's been good on pandemics, put stuff on her website. Molly Gray said she wouldn't do anything on it. The winner here is favored to be next senator of VT, Vermont, once someone retires. This is both to help BB win and get on her good side. Makes sense. Got it. We're not doing it ourselves because Gray got her to commit to denouncing Super PAC spend at a debate, so we would take a negative press hit. But in general, you being the center-left face of our spending will mean you giving a lot of woke shit for transactional purposes. So if you're not comfortable about it, you should think about that a lot. You should think about how comfortable you're going to be with it. Yeah, I need to do some of this and probably see if there are other viable people at FTX for it. Cool, but you're okay for now? Don't love boxing myself into only associating with people I don't like. Smiley tongue face. No one trusted at FTX is bi gay, right? Shoot, unfortunately not. Most of it would not be especially woke, to be clear, just a large proportion. So, yeah. That's interesting. 477. One thing that SBF will. So this is Nishad texting to this. This is where I show me Nishad. I dislike Nishad. This is sent November 6th. Says FTX is collapsing and consumer funds are being halted and frozen because the money's not there. But the funds that are left for consumers are being held up. One thing that this is Nishad to Sam. One thing that seriously helped me if I didn't have debts. I think most of them are loans. $500 million for me exercising more for U.S. investments. I hope we can unwind these, but not sure. Maybe 80 million extra or so are donations, personal, etc., that went through my bank account and are in my name. So 120 million pre-tax or something. I'm not sure this is the exact number. Anything I have in my bank account, I'm happy to return, but it's not much. Would you be okay letting me trade to get rid of the 80? The only change is in deliverable is the taxable amount since the rest was already delivered. Sorry, I know it's not an important thing to focus on at this point. I'm just having a really hard time, and I think this may help me get back. I don't know. Sam responded back, well, think about this. And this is at like 1:51 a.m. Sam was like, what does trade mean? Nishad responded back, sell FTT or SRM earlier in 2022. Sam responded back, I think that's probably fine. This is trying to remember the saying one that had the old fiat account. If you would give me that list of accounts /USDT, USD, I can find it too. No, this is SBF in a small group chat, PR. No, it wasn't a time of orchestrating. I think it makes them more likely to want to be here to help save the situation, to others at least, even if you did think that was a good idea. I don't know how you say it. So Nishad is asking Sam to tell others that it wasn't Nishad, you know, and so, yeah. This is a picture of FTX unable to process withdrawals. This was a customer, Tariq Morad, who testified about the total that he sent and the deposit pieces. This is a rewards agent agreement. This was a letter from SBF to the team about some of the people he got to meet with K5 and Michael Keeves. He's probably the most connected person I ever met. In attendance at his dinner house were Hillary Clinton, Doug Emhoff, Katy Perry, Orlando Bloom, Kate Hudson, Leonardo DiCaprio, Jeff Bezos, Ted Sanderos, Kendall Jenner, Kris Jenner, Corey Gamble, etc. He seems to be generally close to them, is vacationing with Katie, Orlando, and Kate right now. Bill and Hillary spoke at his wedding, etc. He is being very friendly to us and already started to create valuable relationships. He introed me to everyone I asked at the party and was open, active in doing so. K5 is his firm with his co-founder, Brian Baum. It's a joint VC firm and incubator. For example, 818 Tequila with Kendall Jenner. They want us guide the crypto industry. So this is where he started talking about his ties to high-end political and big shaker and movers, and where he sort of got starstruck as well. He was like, I think if they asked him to arrange a dinner with us for Elon, Obama, Rihanna, and Zuckerberg in a month, they would probably succeed. This is the plea agreement between Nishad Singh and the United States. I forget who that is. I think that's Sam Trabucco. Info at Alameda Research, accounts, transactions. This is a picture of Katy Perry, Sam, Kate Hudson. I'm not sure who these two women are, or the woman that's leaning on Sam. And everyone's looking at different cameras, it seems like, or Sam is. But what's really hilarious is Sam says he was just wandering around the stadium. For a meeting, and he didn't know where he was, and that's when he got pulled into this. So seems like he had just flown in, but seems like he was dressed for football. Just, you know, FTX with a football. Like I don't feel like that's just an accident. FTX Arena, Miami-Dade. All right. And then let's see these documents. Here are his political donations and property descriptions. So yeah, this is something that we're going to need. Oh, it's still loading. Why am I getting enable? I'm getting up. All right, there it is. Now it's open. FTX daily revenue. This is GX51. This is property ownerships, different property that FTX owned. That's GX3. This is investments, GX14A. This is continuation of investments, 14B. This is their different group chat pieces of donations. This was employees that were giving donations. So as we can see, this is donations. Some of them were like, you know, Gary at Gmail type of stuff. And then Gwang, Gary W at Gmail, Gwang at Gmail. So you can see here over donations from over 600, 700 employees, 800 employees, 900 employees, 1,000, 1,100 employees, 1,400, 1,500, 1,600 employees, 1,700 employees, 1,800, 1,900, 2,000. Oh, we're only halfway through the sheet. What? And let's just scroll. 4,011 donations, donation emails. Nishad Singh at Gmail. So, yes. What's really hilarious is that FTX did not have 4,000 employees. I think at its cap it had less than 100. So the fact that they have 4,000 different people's contributions, rather interesting. GX5. So total of $55 million worth of donations were put out in this. Actually, a total of $4.6 billion. Equity value. Shohei Udonis, Larry David, their token shares, their price impacts, and their vesting schedule for each of those people. Other political donations. This is the recipients as well, how much they got. Let me go see. Let's see if we can. Oh, we got to enable editing. All right. Amount largest 10 million to Joe Bankman as a gift. 10 million to Gap, which is the 10 million donation to protect our future. 10 million to One Nation McConnell. 9 million to protect our nation. House Majority PAC. Let's do a second filter. Let's just do. We'll leave those in place because donation and political donation. Let's see. Gift, Paperbird. Let's get rid of those. Yeah. So, building a stronger future. Majority for Schumer, 5 million. HMP, building a stronger future. Protect our future. Future Now Action. Bug House, majority forward Schumer. Emily List, Patty Murray, Future Now. Gap, C4, Bridge to Democracy. Voter Registration Project, Americans United. The ABIC, American Independent Foundation, SMP. New York SN, Loeb, 500,000. Organizing Empowerment. NYSN Loeb, another 400,000. The DNC. So they gave, Yeah, so let's sort that. Congressman Axnell, Betty Carble, Lelpak. So we're seeing Alex Padilla, Americans United, Angie Craig. Bozeman PAC, the DCCC, DNC, Dick Durbin, Democratic Party of Virginia. Dem Association of Secretaries of State, Florida Democratic Party, Future Now Action, Future Forward, Gap. Haley Stevens, Heartland Values, Hickenlooper Leadership PAC, House Majority PAC, 6 million. John Hickenlooper, 5,000. So Mitt Romney, Maryland Democratic Party, 9,000. Majority Forward Schumer, roughly $8 million. New York State Democratic Committee federal account, 10,000. Yeah. Let's see here. Gift paper. Okay. Let's make this into a tweet. Where's that Twitter? This is fun. Right? I think so. Oh, man. That just does not look clean. Oh, well. Yep. So there's that. So this is what, GX28 of political contributions. Nope. All right. And yeah, so this is 1016 is that big folder with a lot of that information. Make sure you guys look at that. 1017. Oh. Dinner with the mayor of New York. 287. This is Sam having dinner with the mayor of New York. Let's see, Anthony Lewis, Temasek, meeting in the office, head to dinner, we will book. FTX and IEX trading. Upon arrival, please check in with lobby security. Joining Thomas at a Steelers game November 20th. You'll invest in our latest FTX round. Potentially true, though not 100 that will do it. If we did, it would likely be to the next few months, not confirmed yet. Crypto at Bloomberg News. meeting with Salt Fund. Anthony Scaramucci, SBF meeting with the Saudi Minister of Investment, Khalid Al Falah. You'll see KAF a lot for that as well. Al Falah is the Saudi minister that worked, the governor of PIF today, managing director of SALT, Sean McGlanian, Binance Investment, FTX Sync Up, CZ, and FTX meeting up, Sam in New York, Natalie, Forbes story at Equinox Hotel. So the reason these were important was because these were what the government was using to show locations and times of Sam being in New York at certain times. SBF meeting with New York Governor Hochul. Update meeting with President Clinton. Dinner, New York Hilton Midtown. This is the FBI Cellular Analysis Survey Team, Historical Mobile Device Location Analysis. This is where they were able to meet him or locate Sam during these times. Based off of these meetings, they were able to pinpoint where he was. Outgoing calls as well. They showed location of where he was meeting, and then at the same time showed that his cell phone was pinging so that he was there. Decreasing standard investments, Coacher, D1 Capital, 72, Morgan Stanley. These are different investment firms. Group dinner, July 19th. Investor requests, Morgan Stanley, Standard Investments, Viking Global Investors, as well as their contact pieces. This is more from Third Point and other VC dinner pieces. Small group dinner with Yasir Al-Rumian. Message. This one was redacted. Happy to. This is from my son Christopher is being engaged as a consultant for an NFT entity that is considering your platform. Grateful if you were to take a call to discuss. My son is copied on this email. Thanks. This is from the Honorable Philip E. Brave Davis, Prime Minister and Minister of Finance. Cable Beach, Nassau, the Bahamas. This is where they give him Sam's number. And yeah, I'm proud to announce Tom Brady will serve as FTX ambassador. And then I think I already went through these. Let me double. Yep, FTX reports. Yep. All right. I did go through these already. These are his dinners with important people, proving he was in New York at these times and where his cell phone was pinging at by the U.S. government. And that's 1017 folder. A lot of, all right, this is a heavy one. All right, we'll start at the bottom. Think we should be able to, nope. No, too many. All right. We have to wire. This is their investments in Anthropic. They had $500 million to Anthropic. This is showing. This is the government's financial expert showing the consumer fund movement, user wallets, unique user wallet deposits. FTX sweep wallet then had 100 Bitcoin moved to it. Principal terms between SBF, K5 Global. Account IDs, and this was what was really hilarious is where the allow negative flag was pointed out. But then at the same time, the financial expert made this slide. He was paid over $100,000 to say that BUSD was a Bitcoin stable dollar. And he was talking about US dollar, Bitcoin, USDT, and Ethereum. Just so happens that green Ethereum label there, that's Ethereum Classic. Oh, yeah, Santa Claus. He looked like a midsummer Santa Claus, so that's why I call him Santa Claus. They talked about trading and tracking of USD donations and paying off. In addition to currently, so this is the address and memo for where they paid 1.7 million BNB and 500 million BUSD to UID to address BNB and the BNB address and the membo. So this was when FTX was buying back from what is this? This is 3016. When they were buying back FTX stock from CZ. So Alameda account with allowed negative flag on FTX exchange. Real estate purchases in the Bahamas. Political donations by Nishad Singh. Your 1 million pledge to our operating expenses. Originally, we talked about you wiring one half of it now, one half of it down the road. As far as I know, Sam, you haven't wired anything yet. Just as well, we are getting very close to the final selection of the new executive director, and it would be fabulous to have the full 1 million in the bank by the time we make that announcement. Could we ask you to wire the whole 1 million in the next week, since this is going to our 527 and hence is disclosed? I'm assuming that Nishad would be the better person to have his name on it. We have a slight preference for that on our end now that my connection to Sam is publicly known, because we don't want to create the impression that funding MTG is a family affair, as opposed to a collective effort by many people, including some mystery guy named Nishad Singh, smiley face. If that works on your end, I'll have Beth Benjamin send you instructions. How amazing to have you both in MTG's life, not to mention ours. This is from Barbara Fried, Sam's mother, to Sam and Nishad, with Graham Gottlieb CC'd on it. Nishad responded back, sounds good. I'm happy to pledge the 1 million for MTG operating. Agreed on optics. Mind sending the wire instructions. Sam, Mark, and Ryan. The GMI PAC needs some more funding in order to support Senator Bozeman in his primary. Spoke to Sam yesterday. And they're how much more? And that's 500K to 1 million. And so that is GX 3009 talking about political donations. I can route more names, more money through my name if we want to do that, or if you feel strongly I can make personal contribution for my funds, just noting it wasn't on the radar. Did we request another wire sent out to Guardians Against Pandemics from Alameda? There's this 20 million wire that was sent out from Alameda's Silvergate operating account last week on 10/1 that I don't have any reference for. Ryan, yeah, I got the message to do this. Is there more info on it? Like, is it just another donation? Accountants asking for clarity. Ryan responded, yeah, it's a donation. So $10 million donation here. That's 3011. All right. And I just want to take a quick second to shout out to everyone that's still joining us. Shout out to everyone on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch, Telegram, Twitter, Rumble, and Kick, as we're going through government documentations of SBF's political donations to anyone and everyone, but how 95% of it was to the Democratic Party, and around 10% total 10 to 20% was to New York as well directly. And this is in light of the U.S. Department of Justice choosing not to move forward with charges on political contributions, and as that might bring out more information on those. This shows exchange ledger activity, bank activity, customer bank accounts. They were showing what a customer depositing fiat onto FTX looked like with the fiat at FTX bookkeeping account. $100 from a customer would go into the bank account. Fiat at FTX bookkeeping would go down $100, and the customer account on FTX would go up $100. So then the bank account and fiat at FTX would zero each other out. That was the purpose of that. This was when Santa Claus was showing what fiat and cryptocurrencies looked like. He was showing euros and yen and American dollars and pounds. Bank activity and exchange ledger activity. Investment in Skybridge Capital, Anthony Scaramucci's piece. FTX Ventures, parties, FTX invests $100 million in Dave, companies from strategic partnership. Alameda Research. So this shows directly via Alameda Research Silvergate, 4 wires, $16 million from SBF to Majority Forward and One Nation. This also shows 7 wires totaling $46 million to SBF to different political contributions. So actually, I'm going to make let's just throw all of it in there. Governments. Let's see here. And now, as you'll see here, this New York, who should we tag in this? I know Autism Capital already has this, but and CoffeeZilla and yeah. Let's see. Campaign donations from SBF. Let's see here. And so that is 1089. Followed by Nishad Singh, him wiring 3.3 million to the LGBTQ Victory Fund, Senate Majority PAC, Iowa Democratic Party, and the Senate Majority PAC. One of the things that they did release, and we saw this in other TAC, that the LGBTQ Victory Fund, Nishad said, was not actually for the LGBTQIA community, that it was a fund set up to do other things. One of the things that we saw then was that they possibly got a refund, back-end refund from the LGBTQ Victory Fund Several months later, they got 90% back. That did not go back to FTX Digital Markets or Silvergate. Let's make a tweet of this. Nope, I want a better. There we go. And oh my gosh, New York Southern District. There we go. And yep, that's 1090. Amount of customer deposits held in Alameda Research and FTX Bank was far less than what was owed to customers on FTX. Alameda Research used customer fiat deposit to pay for expenditures. So customers made these donations, you could say, sort of say. These were bank draft pieces from Silvergate. Customer deposits and wires. This is Shaq, SBF. Oh my gosh, I forget who these three people are. I know them. Sam Trabucco, I think. And I forget who these two guys are. And let's see here. Oof, where do we get? We are, all right. 1088. We are going through some big documents here. I want to thank everyone for joining us. Look, shout out to you joining us on YouTube still. So this is more from the government financial expert, Santa Claus. Okay. This is showing total balances in FTX's crypto wallets and what their paper balance was supposed to be with customer balances total, a difference of 10.3 billion. This showed customer funds to pay for donations to guarding against pandemics. Customer funds, 320 was moved to Alameda Research Ltd. 30 million was moved to Alameda Research. 20 million was moved to Guardians Against Pandemics. This is political donations from Ryan Salam. Let's see here. Used for political contributions to One Nation, American Prosperity, American Dream, American Action Network, Senate Lead Fund, Congressional Leadership, Stand for New York Committee, GMI PAC, Republican Governors Association, Heartland Resurgence Action, Log Cabin Republicans, Faithful and Strong Policies, U.S. Right to Know, New York Republican State Committee, Team McConnell, Take Back the House, Common Sense, North Carolina, GOP Winning Women, Reclaim America, Funds for America's Future, Dakota PAC, Joni, Defender Guns, Cass, Hawkeye, Denali, American Dream, Results for North Carolina, View PAC, Defending Main Street, Super PAC. All right. So we're going to add this to that tweet thread. And let's see here. No, that is not what I wanted. I wanted this. Oh, I didn't use my snipping tool. Let's resnip. Government Exhibit 1088. Oh. Let's see here. Now where were we at? There we are. So that's 1088. These were investments, Modulo, GMI pack. This was his sort of showing what different colors meant. FTX Foundation for grants, Anthropic, the money flow, FTX fiat liability, 11.3 billion. Customer funds, investments, charitable purchase of properties. All right. FTX funds, buyback from Binance. Robinhood, when they bought Robinhood using customer funds, paid with other funds, repaying loans. Investor funds transferred from FTX to Alameda. More fund distributions of customers. U.S. customer funds for Skybridge Capital. Digital assets, Genesis. Customer funds to pay for real estate in the Bahamas. More real estate in the Bahamas. Abra, Maple, and Anchorage. Customer funds to TrueFi and Lendon. Maple, Anchorage, and Nexo. Customer funds for TrueFi, BitGo, and Lendon. Customer funds for Genesis. Customer funds for TrueFi, Abra, and Maple. BlockFi, Voyager, Celsius. Borrowing from third-party lenders, they were at 15.4 billion. They were under 2 billion at time of collapse. This was government exhibit. A lot of stuff was redacted. A lot of the images were redacted. Where they took loan repayments, borrowing from third-party lenders. Terra Luna collapse. You know what they forget here. This was Terra Luna collapse, and then this drop was the Nomad bridge hack. I remember that. I remember both. Total funds of spot margin program. There's this time right here, April 2022. FTX was in the clear. Right there. They were good. They could have, but they doubled down. Yeah. Spot margin program. FTX showing that 9 billion to the 8 billion difference. Balance on FTX. Size of customer fiat liability over time. Subcommittee of Committee on Agriculture. This is when Sam testified before the ag. Research, FTX allowed negative enabled. Once again, using Ethereum Classic, but it doesn't take away from the report. Hearing before the Committee on Agriculture, Nutrition, and Forestry, United States Senate. So this was, why are they going in front of them? That's what oversees the CFTC. This shows the allow negative accounts enabled with allow negative. And they were all Alameda Research accounts. Crypto Bit Lord doing some this was Sam giving insight over government oversight, testimony as SBF, Patrick Mahenry and Maxine Waters and the whole House Financial Service Committee for having us today talk about the future of digital assets. You'll find our policy papers at ftxpolicy.com. Kelsey Piper, Vox's Future Perfect. Kelsey Tuwak. John Bozeman. This seems to merge their VC operations. FTX has been doing more venture recently, and I guess maybe Alameda has been doing less. As promised on crypto regulation, at a high level, we need regulatory oversight. Based carbon, but people that SBF paid to tweet when people were pulling funds out. Shaq partnering with FTX. Kelsey Tuwak. Whether you should do unethical shit for the greater good. You were like, don't do unethical shit. Like if you're running Philip Morris, no one's going to want to work with you on philanthropy. And there's a risk of doing more harm than good, but even if you subtract that out, pretty not worth it. Yeah. I was trying to figure out like if what was kind of the PR off the cuff answer. Man, all the dumb shit I said, it's not true. Not really. Yeah, I thought it might not be. Everyone goes around pretending that perception reflects reality. It doesn't. Some of this decade's greatest heroes will never be known, and some of its most beloved people are basically shams. Huh, right there. So you kind of don't believe in like doing unethical shit as anything other than a judgment we bestow upon the losers. A month ago, CZ was walking example, don't do unethical shit or your money is worthless. Now he's a hero. Is it because he's virtuous or because he had the bigger balance sheet and so he won? Well, I can see why you didn't give that answer in interviews. The best is win plus. You were really good at talking about ethics for someone who kind of saw it as a game with winners and losers. Yeah, hee. Sketchy plus loose is pretty brutal. I had to be. It's what reputations are made of to some extent. I feel bad for those who get fucked by it, but this dumb game we woke Westerners play where we all say all the right shibboleths, and so everyone likes us. Frank Chapro and SBF, I know you're trying to pull back from all this shit, but want to see if you could clarify. What do you mean by not pushing against community strategy? Like, will you stop lobbying for the Stave Now Boozman bill if crypto Twitter tells you to stop? Off the record, yeah, I'm basically going to stop lobbying either way. Think they're dumb motherfuckers and about to hand the industry to Gensler on a silver platter. But I don't know. Hopefully I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. Gary and Nishad are gone. Yeah, scared, or Gary is scared. Nishad is ashamed and guilty. This is November 16th. Ashamed and guilty because all the customer deposits are gone. Sam, yeah. People I've talked to have said Nishad was much more into the ethics, not being sketchy stuff than you were. Yeah, it hit him hard. I mean, it hit all of us hard, but it hit him hard. You said lots of stuff about how you wanted to make regulations, just good ones. Well, was that pretty much just PR too? Sam said, there's no one really out there making sure good things happen and bad things don't. Usually there's only one toggle. Do more or do less. Yeah, just PR. Fuck regulators. Fuck, sorry, didn't mean those all to be on the record. Any chance you could take it down? This is when Kelsey Tuwak posted about this on Twitter. FTX official has closed 900 million at a valuation of 18 billion. Sequoia, Paradigm, Ribbit, Bravo, Insight, SoftBank, naming those partners. Policy Pieces, Maticino and SBF. Also, don't spread this. Not public yet. We bought out Binance's stake in FTX. Maddie was responding. Holy shit, love it. Fucking legend. Bunch of J's. So good. Also between us, an obligatory fuck Binance. Yeah. Oh yeah. Binance made sure to extort us for at least 60 million on the way out. Definitely way to engender goodwill. Must be a surreal feeling. Tomorrow's your big coming out party. You will go overnight from being a really big deal in crypto to being a really big deal in like business. Not the same as the endorsement deals, but this is an order of magnitude bigger. Yup. Coming from Sam. I don't know why I always say yup if I see W's. Cosmo from SB to SBF. Hey man, don't want to bother you, but essentially trying to deposit a relatively small amount, 5,000 onto FTX through wire transfer. My bank stopped the transaction and are refusing to release the funds unless I show some sort of contract for why I'm making the transfer. Anything you've ever dealt with before? LOL, fucking banks. Yeah, we see this from time to time. Which bank is it? Bancor, Popular Dominican Republic. Got it. Don't have any memories of that one in particular. I just turned 18 and started using banks, and honestly, they're such a joke, even the modern ones in Sweden. Sam asking about what would be helpful here. A letter of FTX saying that this is a deposit into account on the exchange that you control. Also, what currency was it? I believe USD. Let me double check. KK, was it sent to Silvergate or Deltec? Silvergate. Yep, cool. I think letter should work. If you want to draft up a letter saying something like insert name here, sending to bank details here. In order to transact the wire transfer will credit an account controlled by on our trading platform name has successfully gone through our AML KYC process and we're comfortable accepting the wire. I could get it signed. Yeah, please. Let me get my account ID. Actually, not sure what ID to get, but emails Cristo Cabare at Proton Mail for the FTX account. Full KYC'd and all that jazz. Affiliate ID. Only ID I can find. What name is your bank account in? Histro Ivano Kornov. Just emailed you something. See if that works. Hopefully that works. Going to forward it to the bank. So, Cristio Cabaret is using a bank account with Histro Ivano Korov in it. Genesis Matt Balancewag with SBF. What a good partner Alameda has been to Genesis. Paying back loans. Yeah, definitely want to chat. Hit me up. And then there's Matt's number. Teamed up, Shaq saying he teamed up with FTX. Oh, these are JSON source files. I don't want to open those. I remember what those were. Download Sam's testimony from the Sam and Mark. The GMI PAC needs some more funding in order to support Senator Bozeman in his primary. How much is some more money? 500K to $1 million. So I hadn't planned on giving more of my personal capital to GMI with Michelle's campaign run, likely needing substantial capital on my $2 million contribution to GMI already. I can route more funds through my name if we want to do that. Already the $9 million. Senate Ag Committee. Hey, we'll get the $1 million to MTG shortly. We'll probably land Monday afternoon, evening. Do you happen to have instructions for how to send the $350K to the C4 LLC? Nishad and Sam, this is from Beth. Many thanks for your amazing support. Your one operating. Originally, we talked about wiring 1/2 now. We're all getting close to the final section. That's from Barb. This is safeguarding. This is document histories. Convertible note purchase agreement. Delaware purchaser Dave. This is their investment piece. Purchase price, share transfers of different purchases, Silvergate, due diligence questionnaire for traders, conversation piece, payments. I got this message, join the channel for wire sendings, private ventures, we should be able to send over the funds to the same Signet address above. Signet account number. We need to move. We can transfer at least 100 million. Can split it into 2 if easier. Goldman Investments Ltd, formerly Alameda Research Investments. This is Binance and SBF. None of the BNB. Hi, Sam. We can transfer amount from your account to the receiving account. Please kindly authorize us with your account number. An authorized transfer amount. We will solving that. Thanks, Brooke. All of the FTT. None of the BNB. It's in Binance account email. Evergreen Northern Enterprise. Waiting you guys figuring out how to let it be withdrawn. So I assume another Binance account. We have initiated transfers of 703 million BUSD, at which process Binance, and the rest is still pending. You guys deciding to accept delivery or what? The rest of the BUSD transfers are pending. How to let us send more. Please transfer. In addition, currently BNB. Here's your BNB address. Both the scan and the hard copy of the necessary notice are to us in the next hour. K5 Global payment confirmations. 300 million. Delaware First State. This is them making Clifton Bay Investments. Skybridge Investments. BVI Company, Trinity Chambers Road, act without a meeting, conferred, change of name from Alameda Research to Goodman Investments, certificate of name change, Alameda Ventures, incorporated in the Seychelles, private venture conversations, green light, ideally, let's do a test wire to make sure their instructions work. We have to wire 500 million to Anthropic. All right. We are getting, let's see, what is this last one? Summary of principal terms between SBF and K5 Global. SBF will be 200 million. So 200 million that SBF paid towards K5 Global. And you can find all of this stuff in 1018 folder. And let's see, we're almost done. GSX 240s. No, too many. Promissory notes for loans, 250 million for 5 years with no interest. Oh yeah. SBF, principal sum borrowing 42 million. Promissory note borrowing 316 million for SBF. These are general ledgers of loans. Promissory note, SBF or Alameda Research, 175 million. SBF promises to pay 210 million. Gary Wang promises pay back 35 million. Commonwealth of the Bahamas, make oath that I was present and saw the common seal of the company affixed to this annex. Nelson Average Del Sanga. So this is company change name. I, the Senator, make an oath to say that I was present and saw Alan Joseph Bankman and Barbara Freed, both of the state of Colorado, one of the United States, sign and seal us, annex deeds executed under the annex in conveyance. Witness seals, articles of association. Promissory note, Gary Wang borrowing 19 million. Promissory note, SBF borrowing 500,000. SBF stating that they have enough to cover all client holdings. May 13th, FTX terms of services. Promissory note for 136 million. SBF borrowed from Alameda Research. This is where there were other sculptors requesting documentation for AML concerns on money transfers. Third point, investment firm in SBF documentation, token management policy, and then regulation under the Bahamas Dare Act, talking about that piece. And then G26 redacted. I don't remember what this one was. Emails for counterparties, IDs, and OTC deals, fees, counterparty loans. All right. I remember that. Purpose, borrowers, Ledger X, ostracized actions. Let's see here. Open. Business day for agreements. Unanimous consent of board directors. The board was one person, SBF, transferring to the new company signed by SBF. Revenue shares for advisory board meeting, SBF to SBF. Data, private venture conversations. Please note that one was sent prior to this larger sum to make sure the name matches, hence remaining is here. So as you can see, 500 million, $1 was sent. Modulo Capital, they were looking at buying Modulo calendar for 9:30 PT. Dollar terms, this is the largest drop in crypto market history, a bigger hit than the retracement in late April, though it remains a lower percentage decrease than March 2022. This is a detailed paper on it. We have on a call. Anchor shareholder board, bona fide shareholder agreement. Find the digital asset management policy is attached as they were building it out. Sam will route money through me to weed out the Republican side, as his family is heavily connected to and supportive of the Democratic Party. His mother is a strong reason Biden was able to swing some notoriously red states blue. It's a pretty wild process, but essentially boiled down to getting people who normally don't vote to vote. I feel like that. Huh. Sam wants to donate to both the Democratic and the U.S., but cause the world's frankly lost its mind. If you donate to a Democrat, no Republicans will speak to you. And if you donate to a Republican, then no Democrats will speak to you. We won't be flipping and any red seats blue or blue seats red, but we will be heavily putting money to weed out anti-crypto Dems for pro-crypto Dems and anti-crypto Rubs, Republicans for pro-crypto Republicans. So, but it's pretty interesting here that, you know, state that, who knew that, let's see here. Who knew that SBF had a big hand in getting POTUS to win in some swing states? Autism Capital. Did you see this one? Good night, Book. I hope you have a good night. As we finish going through the last bits of documents, you will see this Google Drive up shortly, and you'll be able to get it. You'll be able to find all of these documents yourself, go through them all. All right. Let's see. Cumulative daily volume trades, Blockfolio. We're keeping that one open. 10:30. We are almost done with this, which is good. We got our documents that we need. As you guys can see through the rest of these documents, as well as the contact pieces and the layers of donations. Out. Where Sam is saying Alameda is not a trader on the FTX, doesn't have special access. Core of crypto, economic freedom. Tweets. Sam talking about his political ambitions. Safety comes first. Hong Kong crypto, if only had come last year. Sam sleeping on a plane, flying from the Bahamas to, looks like New York. On Oxy Maps, haven't really bought that much. Maps, we bought 2 million tokens. OKY, we bought, LXY, we bought 2 points. So that's like 400K of each. Guessing we should TWAP longer, 1-2 million of each over the next day or two. Yep, that sounds good. TWAP is trading with average price, if I remember right. TMAP is trading moving average price. I forget what TWAP stands for. TWAP? Time weighted average for my CXO. I love support staff. They come in handy. All right, as you can see, most of these other documents are just tweet pieces and redacted articles, because the government was actually just trying to get him to say certain things, like, you know, did he spend an hour or so with someone, and then he's like, no, I think I spent like maybe 30 minutes, and then like they would show I spent like 30 minutes with them, and then the title of his I spent 11 hours. So this was one redacted document that we did get to see. This was excerpts. This is Sam while things are falling apart on 12/25 December, where he was trying to get his shares of Robinhood moved to just him, as well. So this is where with Zeke is actually a pretty good dude. I like him. Where Sam said he was like 11, you know, he spent like 30 minutes, and then the government's like, well, this says that he spent 11 hours with you. Oh, well, maybe, I don't know, you know, it was those type of things. So yeah, there are those pieces. And this last one, testimony, FTX, May 12th in front of at the US CFTC meeting. All right. And our last folder, 1031. Project Chinchilla chatter. I'll do anything if we want to do. So if SBF and FTX was going to be in charge of the Bohemian CBDC, they wanted them to build it for them. Prime Minister is currently at FTX Arena in Miami, using FTX's floor side seats with his wife. Can we get an intro to Ryan and Valdez? Yep. Want to create a group? And I'll add them. Okay, they're both at FTX. The Ryan is currently in the car with me driving to a Bitcoin mining farm in Kazakhstan. Settlements, Hong Kong offices, remote pieces. Really sorry about delayed responses. We'll be responsive going forward. Small group chat. We can get tonight and another 1.5 billion tomorrow. Currently 800 million of pending withdrawals. We've already processed 3.5 billion or so of withdrawals. This was on 11/6. So breakdowns of those. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff broken down here. We've covered everything up to date, 1031. As we update our access to and get our hands on more court documents, we hope that you appreciate those. As we've gone through all of these documents, I last updated this 12/8/23. So there are new documents from the courts that I will get. But as you can see here, these are the main document pieces. As I update this Google folder that everyone please find everything here on political donations. Focusing on GX. $5, $28, $287, $10.90, $10.88, $3,009, $30.11, and $10.89. And 3016. So I hope that this helps give any information that you guys might have, and that you guys might have any questions. Please feel free to reach out. There's been amazing people that have covered this trial directly, and we've got to spend time with a lot of them. They are good people. So, you know, I hope that, you know, you find what you want here, and that it leads you to your own conclusions. So, yeah, this is what I have. Hope you find something else. As always, I'm going to end tonight with a penguin dancing, because why not? But at the same time, we are going to end this episode with the same two things as we always end. Our words of wisdom and the best worst knock-knock joke on the face of the planet. Please make sure you join us January 1st for our 500th episode. We have some cool guests joining us. But as always, a closed mouth cannot be fed, and you cannot feed a closed mouth, meaning if no one knows you're looking for opportunity, opportunity can never come a knocking. If opportunity does come a knocking and no one answers, it's going to keep on walking. And with that, we end with the greatest worst knock-knock joke on the face of the planet. And that is, knock, knock. Who's there?